This is a historic little
What do you want?
event. Oh, right in front of here.
Okay.
Are you
I like being Florida. He always looks better than me. No.
We already have a guy who crawls on walls and spins webs. We already have a guy who's the god of thunder and a fellow who's got green skin and he breaks through buildings up and so forth. But since some viewers might not speak fluent Skrull, we'll use our Mighty Marvel language converter. As a matter of fact, our sales have tripled in the past 3 years, which is quite a publishing phenomenon.
Slower, but still got 7.
No, you promised we were going to take this very serious.
Oh, hey, come on, I love this stuff for my youth.
I mean, Mike.
Spidey's 30th birthday. What do you get Spider-Man for 30?
Them in countless horror movies they usually referred to as the dead who walk. Now, what can they possibly have to do with Tony Stark or his armored alter ego, the invincible Iron Man?
Well, I have a good feeling about this. Yeah. Peter's the guy building it. I just follow along, you know.
What a great team. You got a great guy.
He's just terrific. I never would have done this. When my contract ended, he said, hey, Stan, now you're free. Let me build a company. If he could do it for me, imagine what he could do for you guys.
I think it's going to be the synergy.
200 to 300 fan letters every day, probably as much as the Beatles. I spend most of my time reading the mail and quite a lot of time answering it. During this time, I think I've learned a lot about what young people think. More importantly, I think I've learned a lot about what young people are.
Wouldn't want to change anything about me.
Gee, you're definitely not the same guy I've been writing about all these years. My guest is somebody who is not only an old friend and associate, but one of the genuine talented movers and shakers of our business, Roy Thomas. So I figured, okay, if we have to do a team, that's fine, but we're going to do it differently than anybody else does it. So instead of a lot of good guys who always won at the end and they were brilliant and they were superior to the villains and they never did anything wrong, we came up with the Fantastic Four, who inevitably did something wrong.
Paid dividends down the line. A lot of people seem to be short-sighted on a lot of things. So
How does it feel to know that someday in the future they'll talk of you as the man who popularized three-dimensional perspective webbing? I mean, boy, that's a distinctive trait. Nobody else will have anything like that.
Since moving to work at Marvel's production center in California, Lee has acquired a home with a pool, a pair of sunglasses we never saw him take off, and a position as an elder statesman with the folks back at the Marvel offices in New York. Stan still contributes to special issues.
And then another thing you might jot down, Jim. On page 13, he had his helmet on, and Believers. I'm Stan Lee, co-author of How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, and creator of Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, and a whole caboodle of other comic book characters that my legendary modesty prevents me from mentioning. Now, I'll be your host and guide as we journey together along the rambunctious road to comic book artistry, which is to say, it looks like we're stuck with each other for the next little while. What is it that you're known for?
You gotta be kidding.
I am, of course.
Well, originally I created Courageous Cat.
That was that animated show
an
you
animated
did, right?
cartoon.
All right, people.
I think when
We
I
are
was 18, I tripped
starting
across a character called Batman.
soon. I'm just looking for
B-A-T--man. It was called Batman by Robert Kane. In 1939, when I was
my
3
lettering
years old,
Micron. Where is my
I created the Batman.
lettering
I'm now
Micron?
42 on my good days. Anyway, Batman is my
Good.
claim to infamy.
Yeah, I always thought it was
at
things to think about because you always want something different. I remembered we had a character called the Human Torch who was very popular, and he was a guy. I mean, it's an everyday occurrence. He could burst in flame and fly. So it occurred to me, why not do the opposite? So that was Iceman.
Hey, true believers, I'm Stan Lee, and I want to tell you about the most fantastic sweepstakes ever. How would you like to work with me for a day as editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics? Just enter the Kmart and Marvel Comics Watch and Win sweepstakes this May and June. Get your Watch and Win scratch-off game card at participating Kmart restaurants and win one of 18 million discounts on Kmart food and drink, plus 2,500 other prizes. Just watch the Marvel Action Hour and answer my questions. Details at participating Kmart restaurants.
Here we are, everyone. StanUARY Day 6. Here we go. We're live, rocking and rolling. Can we get this a little? Why am I always obsessing over Mike? But anyway, yeah. So tonight, it's the big one. It's the one you've been waiting for. Say it with me. Ringmaster from Marvel Comics. First appearance, Incredible Hulk #3. You know he's your absolute favorite Marvel villain. Shout out to my boy Justin, who added this. He's the one that wanted to use Ringmaster, and I give him some credit. It's not streamable. It's ballsy though. Oh, here we go. Yes, I know the intro's long. I was literally on the phone during the entire intro, Harry. So, you know, like I needed sometimes to just start the broadcast to motivate me. That it also gets people like going. You know, like it gets people. Yeah, not really. I'm a big Bob Kaner, Harry. I don't buy all the Bill Finger. I don't buy the Bill Finger argument. I don't. Yeah, thanks, Harry. Appreciate it. Harry, tell me, how much of a fan are you of Ringmaster? Come on. Oh, Harry, bonus points. If you can tell me the best Ringmaster use in like moment, like his best story, his best feature, like the best time he was used in Marvel history. If you can tell me that, you know, well, I'll do something. I'll hook you up with something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fuck, dumbass name. Hey, first appearance Hulk 1962. So, yeah. Here we go. We got some messages popping in. Sorry, I sent off a ton of design work today, and believe it or not, two of the people just got back to me with maybe reaction, maybe revisions. We'll see. But yeah, everyone, let's go. We have we're all waiting for this guy to show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Am I right? All of these microns too are slowly dying on me here. Slowly. But the paper, like this paper, it works perfectly with microns that are just kind of like dying because the paper's so thin and smooth. It gets like the absolute last out of the micron, which is something we need. Because like it's not even being consistent with the streams and all of that. There is a logistics and management cost to all of this because you have to have your materials ready to go. You have to predict how well you're going to burn through your tools, like your markers and stuff like that. And then if there's anything that you have to order, you know, you got to project. You got to think ahead. What are his powers? Well, originally he was he's just like a normal guy. He's got a hat that could hypnotize you, but he originally was just almost like a assassin type dude. And you know, I think it was General Ross or Betsy Ross, one of them. He like kidnapped. Look, this is a crazy thing. This is a character that I did a deep dive into a long time ago. So there's a lot about the Ringmaster that I know offhand. But like that's why these challenges, especially the ones kind of based around comic book history and all that, that's why these are valuable, because you do nothing but learn. Like, you endlessly learn. It's a ton of fun. Like, there's a cross motivation when it comes to like doing the work and then doing the research. Like, there is a nice intersection with all that. Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, like, but you know what the crazy thing is? The MCU, like, if the MCU popularized with the zeitgeist what a Infinity Gem is, they're going to do the same for a like a multiverse. People now understand multiverse, comic book logic, comic book science. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess, like, in a way, like, color-wise, yeah. But this was also popular for the day. Like, this type of top hat, this type of character, even him being in the Ringmaster, like back in the 60s, 62. Like, the circus was way more prominent. Like, it actually literally did come to town. It was meaningful when it did that. People got excited. But keep in mind too, this is also a excuse for me to draw an elephant. Now, speaking of comic book history, I finally figured out my intro, Harry. So the intro is going to be like Stan Lee, almost just like having a nuclear meltdown, and the whole gag for the opening 2 pages here is that he's trying to write the great American novel, which all the Marvel stuff was a stepping stone towards. Ironically, he never got to that book. He got, Marvel occupied his entire life as soon as he took over. So, like, that's the whole gag, and he has like a producer wanting to make a cartoon coming in through like his speakerphone here and stuff like that, or his speaker box. But comic book history, Ravage 2099 members, like, again, too, keep in mind, like, a lot of people, they had no idea about Herbie, no idea about She-Hulk. The actual flow of Hank Pym is insane, right? Because I left out 2 of his alter egos, but like, just going from like Ant-Man to Yellow Jacket to Goliath, I mean, like, that's a crazy transition. And he was Goliath, like, wasn't it like 50 issues into the Avengers, like 5 years roughly, he became Goliath. And then we have Anella. Oh my God, so unknown. But here we go. And then, like, Anella, her son becomes Hulkling for Young Avengers. And I originally had Hulkling here, but I thought her destroying her homeworld by Galactus would be a little bit better. And here we go. This is the one. I did this last night. COVID really got to me last night because it did warp my energy. This is the one I really wanted to go live with, but it's Kang, and I thought the layout here lent itself perfectly to just do almost like a rotation of his incarnations, which is Immortus, Ramatut, Scarlet Centurion, Victor Timely, and Iron Lad, right? Iron Lad. And I wanted to do Young Avenger here and Young Avenger here, but but no, this is what I'm talking about. This is the exploration of comic book lore, comic book myth. There's a lot of controversy on how some of these creations get in front of our eyes, get in our hands, but at the same time, dude, like, big shout out to Justin for initiating this, because very few sketchbook challenges are driven around comic book history. It really is StanUARY and Jacktober. So here we go. Who's ready? You got more saying? No, not really. Oh, Harry. Maybe I'll just add it to Indiegogo. On the TBF website, the akapad.com/trialbyfire. I have I have it there. I just have to update it, but I have every single page projected to be completed for Trial by Fire and the progress on every single one of those pages. So feel free to check that out. Yeah, dude, I originally was going to do sticks with this guy, like comedy bits that were kind of exactly what you're mentioning here, dude. Because I think there's a lot of comedy there. I really do. Like, just there used to be a comedian that did Saint Lee impersonations, and he would tell these crazy stories, and his punchline always was, well, he'll be like, that's how I came up with the idea for Galactus. And it would just be this like crazy, like cocaine filled story, kind of making him a little bit like a Hunter S. Thompson character. But yeah, let's just we have to get to some of this. So my question from earlier is, what, like if we're to go to the Marvel like history, right? Like, what are we pulling from the annals of Marvel history for Ringmaster? And my answer would be Incredible Hulk issue 470. Joe Casey, Ed McGuinness, 4 issues. The Circus of Crime. One of the best 4 issues we'll ever see. Including, like featuring the Ringmaster. So there you go. In case you were wondering. Yeah, but when it comes to, like the idea of like this guy looking like a Mad Hatter, keep in mind, like everything is kind of ripped off or inspired by something else. Like there's really like nothing. I mean, like we can go back to like the history of even comics. Like every single comic book character is, but that's also the way how the comic book industry works. We're going to kind of like simulate a little bit of a ring here. So my whole idea too was to color this using nothing but purple and green. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but like I'm not even sure if he ever got an action figure. Like I don't know if he, right, because it would have to be Marvel Legends, but I don't think he ever did. Oh, and cheers, Harry. Thanks for hanging out, bud. Yeah, we need to. We need to kind of make some progress here because I feel like I'm moving slow. Dude, last night though, my energy got so freaking zapped. And it's still COVID. Like even though I'm not as congested as I was and this, but it's like I still like can't get enough sleep. And I'm normally a very quick sleeper. Like I don't need much to sleep. I don't need much for like rest. So there's that. And but like I really wanted to be here for Kang. But I kind of just like I took a nap at night. Maybe from like 6 o'clock to like maybe like 8:30, 9 o'clock. It was like a 2.5, 3 hour nap. And then you know, like I promised, not promised, but just kind of had like a little bit clearer of a definition on the delivery of some, you know, comic book logos and you know, like design stuff for a client. And I couldn't even get to that list. I had to jump on as soon as I woke up. All right, here we go. We got something. But what a, I mean, like, it's just, it's also like, you know, this character, it really goes to show you how like innocent comics were at one time. Like, I don't know if, you know, like if something like this guy would ever get created today. Right? Yeah, I'm always tired. Harry, I think you're always tired because you you know, you just put so much energy into things that you hate or stuff that you're displeased with. I just think it's like you you know, you're like an oil tanker leaking all over the ocean, but you're just like dripping energy. Who's that one comedian that is, it's like maybe like Lewis something, but he's like that older guy that is always like, I think he used to be on like Comedy Central, but he's like kind of like always pissed off. But he's funny, and I think he used to be a commentator too, not a commentator, but like a sideline dude for the NFL, and he always had like good bits about the NFL teams. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, that's good, bud. Never kiss ass. Oh yeah, and Harry too. Expect, so some of it is the way how I'm organizing like the flow of the TBF kind of like updates and things like that is everything's going to be on Indiegogo first and then duplicated on the website. So that's a little bit of my way of just kind of like honoring everyone that's a part of the campaign. Like they get first look at the info. But tomorrow, we should have the page we were doing the other night. I don't, like, Harry, did you see we did TBF live? You know, we got like an intro video. Good to go for that. So TBF live will be not only one day a week, but multiple days a week. And the idea is like live, I'll either start pages, complete pages, and then add them to like Indiegogo. Oh yeah. So I mean, it's in my, if you go to the my Facebook, YouTube channel, it's there. It should also be available on Twitter and Facebook too. But I think too, like the idea of, you know, like understanding like power sets, like the weaknesses of the hero, you know, like what, like how the hero is comprised and the composite of the hero. Yeah, that's just a part of comic book storytelling. And I just think anyone that's capable, like when it comes to being a creator, you know, like you can take a character like this dude and just do something fun, something original, something unexpected with them. Yeah, and I think that's a part of the draw. I think that's a part of the appeal of comics. And it definitely, you know, like also apply to like Trial by Fire, which is like how good of a creator am I? Like, can I take this idea from one of my drawers and do something with it? Like, am I that good? So yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy working on TBF like so much, because it has a little bit of that. You know, like there's a little bit of, oh, like this is what we're dealing with now. Okay, like this is the status quo. You know, now go create. Because like, you know, guys like Byrne, you know, I think Byrne might have been like issue 1 of Sensational She-Hulk. Either way, man, I wish Good Idea Comics was in here because he would know. But I'm pretty sure it might have been like the first couple of issues of Sensational She-Hulk. But you know, like John Byrne did like a pretty good like take on the Ringmaster too. So you had like Joe Casey, John Byrne kind of come in and just, you know, like kind of respect that idea of what makes comic books so unique. It's like, you know, like you're always dealing with other people's like work and their material, and it's not all your creation. It's just not. Let's see here. Oh, dude. Rob Willis is, dude, he's maybe the only guy that I would say within like the last 2-3 years, at least 2 years, he's the only artist that I started following that has grown. Like the way how he's gotten better with his solid blacks, his cross hatching. Yeah, and when I say cross hatching, I mean like you create grays when you cross hatch. So like maybe like a good example of that would be like this right here. Okay, like like some people might look at this and like they might have ideas about this, but essentially what you're looking at, like you're looking at my cross hatching solutions for like grays. Okay, Rob Willis has exponentially grown with like shadow and his grays and cross hatching, so you can kind of argue like form. Like his form is so much better. He's the only artist that has grown. Maybe next to Shelby Robertson. Like Shelby is maybe the only artist that I've seen grow on social media. Like, and I'm talking like exponentially. I'm talking when you really get into the mechanics of their work, it has transformed. Dude, I would, yeah, I mean, I love Mr. Willis. I really do. Nice guy also. Rob Willis too, I give him credit. He helped me vet someone that wanted me to do some design work. And he said like he kind of talked up Mr. Willis and kind of just he said a lot of stuff. So when I was talking to the guy, I just I messaged Rob, and he he got back to me. It wasn't right there like in real time. It was like maybe a day or two after, but he verified that this one individual commissioned him for some work. Because a lot of times, like I'll cross vet people too, because there's just so much talking in the indie realm. Someone name drops, I will reach out to them. I think that type of audition goes both ways, because I don't want my time wasted. Don't waste my time. Yeah, I mean, his cross hatching is very David Finch, right? David Finch, and I think Danny Mickey for Ultimatum. Which is like it's a very much like it's like this. So I cross hatch the 90s way, which is this, right? That's Peter's cross hatching. All right. And Rob, he's very close to David Finch, and he'll do more like this. But what happens is like this creates like a gray. So within like if it's like a finger, we'll just say he has a way of like shaping that form like through his cross hatching, which is very David Finch in Ultimatum. Very, and to me, my eyes, when Finch worked on Ultimatum, that style he had perfected, and I really feel like that's on a lot of people's drawing tables nowadays, even though people bash Ultimatum. But Ultimatum, fucking awesome. I love that story. I just like when they commit in stories and just start killing people. Like you're just like, fuck yeah. Like Cyclops just like blows Magneto's like head right off. Magneto just like blasts Wolverine into oblivion. So here we go. Ringmaster. Come on. Yeah, but I am big. I am all team Rob Willis. We're going to... The one thing I try and do less and less of also is erasing. I still erase as little as possible. I'm sorry, I was just looking for my eraser. So, like sometimes for the just mostly because of the paper quality. But I like the idea of this only being two colors, like this whole page here. Like the way how here, like I chose the monochromatics here. And I kind of need a an elephant reference. We need some elephant reference here. Yeah, because already the ears I drew are too small. There we go. So the bad thing with this paper too, though, it's like it just it's not even like that. It smudges. Pencils just literally disappear. Here we go. But yeah, as soon as I saw this too on the list, I just like it was like I just knew. I'm like, oh, I'm like, here we go. Like time to draw an elephant. Yes. All right, so here we go. So look, keep in mind he's supposed to have like stars on his little like suit here. I'm not drawing all those in. I may do some of that with the markers. We're because we have very small surface area here, so there's still an issue when it comes to space. So we try and use our real estate strategically. Uh-oh. Kelly Dixon in the house. Yeah, Kel, we are working on Ringmaster. Yesterday was Kang the Conqueror. These are the many incarnations of Kang. We have Anella lined up. Anella later got killed by Galactus. He destroyed her entire world right here. The Skrull homeworld. He took it out. But yeah, we're rocking and rolling. We're also going to try and make this one into two colors. We're only going to use purple and green. And that's it. Hopefully. We'll see. Yeah, if you have a character that is circus themed, you better draw like an elephant with it. Like always draw elephants are just you can kind of make the argument that an elephant, because of their like shape, size, texture, like they are the artists, or I'll say like the illustrators, like animal, because just from the texture alone, shapes are easy, like easily identifiable, like all that stuff, you know. We're using way more black here to kind of block in some of our action. Okay, like just a little artist note there. And I'm just letting the brush and everything kind of take over, because I just want to block it in. I just want to block it in. Cheers, everyone. Holy crap. We're almost an hour in. These are tough. These are tough to complete in 1 hour. Yeah, so basically, like it's a 2-panel gag. He's thanking the crowd for coming by, and he's like, we're gonna have a very green guest tonight, and it's he'll be holding a Incredible Hulk action figure. Hey, no one said we weren't doing full-on bits here for StanUARY. And then we have a little bit of a profile to figure out. So let's figure that out. But not bad for an hour's worth of drawing. Not bad. Still not great, though. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, that was supposed to be green. Mother effer. I knew it too. As soon as I laid it down, I knew it. Let's see if we can maybe fix that real quick. Good enough. Gray. That's what I'm supposed. Looking for gray and looking for skin tone. So, you know, like, I'm thinking if I should keep it like this or not. I like it. Maybe we'll do like an all blue background, like all light blue, maybe like this. But we'll still do like everything in monochromatic. So some of this, just it's going to help everything pop a little bit, come out a little bit. And I do like that this one is just a little bit more looser than some of the others. All right, one more color. I know I keep making promises. We can do some yellow for this flashes, though, right? Maybe erase some of this pencil for this eye. All right, here we go. Day 6, the Ringmaster. Yeah. Hold up, though. Before we sign out, let me just add some shadows for the lettering here. You know, like the one rule of thumb, like you only use colors to make things pop. That's all. Like you're trying to draw attention. You're trying to direct the eye. So sometimes if your colors aren't doing that, well, then do it. Make things pop. Make it communicative. It's up to you to sell the idea. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Not too bad. Not too bad today. Yes, like I said, we skipped yesterday because I really had to do a midnight, like, evening COVID nap. But we're back with day 6. Day 7. I don't who's day 7? I didn't even look ahead. Let me see. Let me look it up on my trusty phone. Tomorrow. The Mighty Thor. All right. Maybe we'll do Thor in his many carnations. We'll have the original Thunderstrike, maybe Better Ray Bill, maybe the 90s Thor with the cut-off shirt. I don't know. Maybe, right? We can do a lot of versions of Thor. Cool, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.